husband is pretty cool on stage. Okay, so dojo. How many of you do martial arts? Cool. What kind of martial arts?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. Yourself, sir? The guy in blue? Taekwondo also, quite common. I did Taekwondo when I was a kid also. But dojo is a Japanese one. That's where the ninja concept came from. It means a training ground. A training ground is also known as your office. What is your office like? When you go to a Japanese martial art, there's culture. You go in there, there are certain systems you need to follow. You respect the teachers. Things are placed a certain way. But how is your office being placed? So let's talk a little bit about sales culture. Is your sales culture like this? So is your sales organization like that? Are they making a lot of excuses? Why you don't hit your 20 sales calls per day? Oh, very busy, sir. Very busy, boss. Okay? Is your sales culture like that? Or they don't know much about anything? Who are your top 20 customers? Don't know. So this is your sales culture like that? Or is your sales culture like this? So is your sales culture currently achievement based? Everyone is results oriented. When they go inside, it's high energy. You know, there's these two salesmen just came back from the office and they look like they were robbed. You know, their pants were like torn, their shirts was torn. So the manager asked the salesperson, "What happened to you?" Salesperson said, "Well, the client asked for discounts again." So is your sales culture hello energy? Or when a salesperson comes back, it's like, "Yes, I've seen 2 customers again, and their potential, and they move on." So what's the culture like? What's the energy like? Are they very goals oriented? Are they thinking big? This is an SME based video that I selected for you. Even though you may be small, but you go against the big boys, you're thinking out there, you're selling something that makes an impact to people's life. Don't really care. This is a good product. Okay, that's a sales culture that we want to be in. And that's a sales culture we need to build. And how do we do that? So dojo. Key point, sales culture equals to your sales result. Okay, if your company is not achieving the sales result that is achieving, basically means that your sales culture is not on par with what you want it to be. Because I asked you a question earlier, is your team aligned with what you want it to be? And sometimes people ask, how do I get the sales result that I want? Let me give you the sales ninja formula, okay? There are 4 things for you to look into when you want sales result. The company increases sales targets, or they launch a new product, and now they give you a new target. Or if you're an entrepreneur, you set a target, okay, I want to earn $1 million or 10 million revenue, whatever the goal is. And you want that sales result. So question to you is, how do you achieve those sales results? 4 things. Number 1, sales knowledge. You need to know your product. You need to know the market. You need to know your customers' business. You need to know their competitors. So you need to know their challenges so you can help them. That's what I call sales knowledge. Number 2, sales activities. How many people must you see? How many people must you talk to? What kind of questions should you ask? These are all sales activities. Then we have sales mindset. Are they ready for this new change or not? And then last but not least, sales skill sets. Okay, you cannot expect new sales results without giving them or increasing any of these 4 areas. Okay, so that's sales results. So look into your organization. You want sales results? 4 things to look at, and that will equal to your sales culture. And your sales culture also defines your sales results. What kind of sales culture are there? Number 1 is the do their own thing culture. That means everyone do their own thing. There's no culture basically in this culture. Okay, everyone do their own thing. So there's no defined values that they live by. There's no KPI set. It's a really cowboy way of doing sales, running a sales organization. So do their own thing culture is the first one. Blaming excuses, denial. You heard that one recently. This is a very famous BED model. They're always blaming external forces. They're making a lot of excuses and they think, I don't need to change. Your salesperson says, I've been selling for 20 years. I know how to sell. Attend training? No need. I know already. This is one culture. Next culture, last minute culture. You know what last minute culture is or not? Okay, today is the 7th, which is the beginning of the month. Normally when you reach 20th, no sales! You look at the sales board, sales is so low. Then they start going out, start to increase their prospecting activities. And you know what? The customers are very smart, you know. Then the salesperson go and meets the customer. Hey, help me. I'm not meeting target this month, man. It's the 20th and I'm still half below my target. Customer says, I can help you. But you must also help me. Why don't you reduce this 15%? And then I'll give you the sale. So because you train the customers to behave that way. If you're based on quarter, that means your target is not on a monthly basis, it's a quarterly target. Same thing. You go there, they say, I can help you hit your quarterly target, but please help me. So last minute culture, all because you allow that to happen. All this is the responsibility of the sales leader, okay? The shoguns themselves, which is you and I. Then we are the cheapo culture. No problem, go out there, whatever the fellow give, we cut our price to match that. So your whole company is called a cheapo culture. Price, 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 price. All the price, 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 price. So we go cheapest, sure get the deal. True or not? If you go cheapest, normally you get the deal. True or not? Sometimes. Depends on which customer you deal with. Now these are disempowering culture. There's also empowering ones. Number one is everybody sells culture. That means not only salespeople sell, non-salespeople also sell. We have a client that deals with automotive. Now, their product is not like BMWs. Their product is a mid-range, low-range one, which means quality not so good. So whenever you have, there's this case they brought up. People were yum chaing, you know. I don't know where's the word, but I just added it to the dictionary. So people were having tea with the friends, and then one friend decided to say, "Aiya, your car lousy one. Halfway driving, the tire sure come out one. The wheels will pop out and will kill all the drivers on the road. I mean, don't even sell your car." The one person decided to have this joke. Then everyone was like, ha ha ha, laughing at the brand. Now everybody sells means the non-sales people must also tackle this objection. Objection means something that stops the sale from moving forward. But even though you're non-sales people, you still need to teach them on how to handle all these things. And your non-sales people must also be taught how to solicit business when they go out there. Teach them how to pitch about your company and services. So that's very empowering culture. This culture, empowering one, is called the learning culture. When I was a sales manager, I have this ritual, okay, which I come to the office. Every day when I come to the office, I start with minimum of 1 minute up to a 5-minute motivational speech. Everybody looks forward to my sales meeting because it's not, oh, let's look at the numbers today. Okay, you, A, B, John not hitting target. B, Angela not hitting target. What the hell you guys are doing? If you do this kind of sales meetings, who wants to attend your sales meeting? So you cannot do that. So you turn this sales meeting into a more empowering one. So for us, 1 to 5 minute motivation speech every single time I come in. And I also ask the salesperson to do it. Okay, next round is your turn. Go and read something. Go and, those days not so Googleish, not so Googleable, but go and read something. Go to the bookstore. Next week is your turn. I want you to give a 1 to 5 minute motivation speech on goal setting. Okay, that's how you build the sales culture. Now, how to build a sales culture? Number one, know what kind of sales culture you want to build. That's the first step. You want them to sell on value and not price? Then that's something that you need to work on. Number two, know what has to stop. What are some of the things they are doing that's killing your brand, your sales culture? If you say you want to sell value and not price, the thing they are doing a lot is actually discounting. That has to stop. Next, how to create a sales culture? Know what to start. If they stop doing discounting, what must they do? Sell value, yeah, how? What kind of things can you add to the whole sales equation? What kind of persuasion skills must you teach them? Okay, next. More importantly, what must you as the sales leader do and change before trying to implement and change the whole sales culture? Because a lot of time, a lot of senior managers I work with, big companies, few hundred million turnover, they say, okay, this is what we want the sales guys to do. Okay. So my question to you is, what are you going to change first? They said, no, we are fine. The problem is with these guys. I said, no, the problem is with you guys. Because the whole thing is created by both of you. They said, so my question to you is, what are you going to change first? And they start to think, oh yeah, actually we need to change first before implementing the change to the salespeople. Because if we try to force down this change, guess what? They don't. Because they look up, hey, this fella talk in here. He also never change. Ask me to follow up. This fella also never follow up. So everything goes back up. Because you see, in life, you learn through two ways. Number one, from your own experience. Number two, you role model. When you're a kid, when you're a baby, guess what? You look at your adult. They walk, you follow. You eat, you also follow as a baby. You remember the time you were actually a baby? Don't remember, but nonetheless, you were once a baby. So there's actually two ways truly people learn from their own experience. Why I say that? Because a lot of times people tell you, don't do this, then you go and do, correct? Right? Because you want to have that experience, therefore you learn from it. Right now, I'm giving you intellectual understanding, but nonetheless, you still have to go out there and make the mistakes to learn from it. Basically, only two ways to learn. Number one, from your own experience. Number two, you role model. That's why you have a terrible boss, normally the culture will be the same. So, this is how you define a sales culture. Before even you set the targets, before you even set the KPI, before you want to recruit people, make sure you have a sales culture defined. Because when you recruit people, they are going to suck into your existing sales culture. And it may not be good. So create one. If you have not got a sales team, perfect situation. That's where you start from fresh. If you already have a sales culture, a little bit more challenging. I do transformations for a lot of companies. They are reluctant to change. The salespeople are complacent. We have people selling for 15, 20 years. Now you say, okay, the market you're serving is dead. Please go and target the other market. Oh, but boss, I only know about the electronic business. Now you ask me to sell chemicals. I have to talk H2O and all these kind of different languages. Very difficult. So that's harder to change. Longer period of change. Takes a year, 2 years to change this kind of culture. It's not overnight thing suddenly. Here's the new plan. Let's roll out. Everybody get motivated. Let's go. Okay, does not happen that way. Okay, it happens gradually, every day in the day-to-day interactions between the managers and the salespeople and the boss. You guys, CEOs, with your sales managers, and they will cascade down exactly what you want them to do. Okay, all because all starts from us. Okay, so that's the first part. Sales dojo, which is your sales culture. Let's look at the second part of what I want to share.